Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your models will practically build themselves.
Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the Kit Hoarder's Stash. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. It's IPMS Nationals down in San Marcos, Texas, and I am not there, and Kitlinks is not there. And we'll talk about that on the Sunday show as to what's going on and why we're not there. But what I thought I would do is go over from some of my experiences at an IPMS Nationals at the vendor area and kind of go over some of the years that I've been there and what I've seen and what to expect for those folks who've never been to an IPMS Nationals, or this may be your first one that you're going to this year, or, you know, any other real model show. It's a great opportunity to look at some of the things that you probably will need to know if you're going to go through a vendor's area and what you can expect. So stick with Mad Dog Merv today as we look at the vendor's areas from some of the IPMS Nationals over the years.
So really there's two parts to any IPMS Nationals. One is the contest room, or the display room that you see here. And you'll get a couple of thousand models out on display. It's a wonderful place to get inspiration and see what really you can do with this craft and this hobby. But the other side of an IPMS Nationals is the vendor room, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So my first time ever to a vendor room was in 1998 at Santa Clara, and I don't have a picture of it because it just blew my mind. I was so overwhelmed with what I saw. We had taken my convertible, and needless to say, we filled it up with a lot of models on the way back. The whole thing was a blur. But my first time as a vendor was at the 2005 show in Atlanta. And there I had the opportunity to do some demonstrations with the new Iwata airbrush. And we actually sold everything that we had. And I got to bring home the demonstrator model. In Orange County, you can see me there in the yellow shirt on the right-hand side. This is back in the great model days, and we would set up a few thousand items on these tables. You get into these vendors areas, you're going to see demonstrations going on. You're going to see a larger scale, like these 1/8 scale tanks that we were working on at the Orange County show that year. You're going to see a lot of things that just overwhelm you. You're going to see stacks 12, 15 feet high of model kits. You're going to see them from floor up that high and covering an entire wall. You look at these displays and you go, wow, where do I even start? So it's best if you make a list of the things that you're looking for. If you're an armor builder, what are you looking for in the way of accessories and kits? If you're looking for new kits, which new kits are you looking for? And if you're looking for older kits, out of production kits or even vintage kits, make a list of the ones that you are looking for. Now, the IPMS Nationals usually is a 3-day event, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or a little bit of time on Wednesday, half day on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sometimes you get a 4th day and half day on Saturday. Usually that first day the vendors are busy setting up. You're not going to get deals on anything. You're going to get to see what's out there so that you kind of have an idea of which ones to come back to and dig a little bit deeper. The first real full day of a show is a great opportunity to go through your list, go through a vendor's room completely, and look for those things that were on your list. Chances are pretty good you're going to be able to still find them on that first full day of the show. However, by the time the next day comes along, things are starting to move out of there, and by the Saturday, so many of these companies have what we call a fire sale. So they'll bring $10,000 worth of merchandise. They don't want to take it all back, so they'll sell things 50% and sometimes even deeper discounted just to get them out of there, so they don't have to haul all this stuff back that they hauled there. The one catch to that is, if there's something specific you're looking for, chances are it's probably going to be gone, and you're really going to want to make sure that you pick those items up early. I've made that mistake several times. In fact, almost every Nationals I go to, and I wait, and sure enough, the item that I really wanted gets sold. So I wind up picking up what I call consolation prizes. Yeah, there are some fun things that I can use and I can build, but it's not the main thing that I was really going there after. So that's probably the biggest piece of advice I could give anybody going to an IPMS Nationals. You can see by the size of some of these vendors' rooms how huge they are. You'll get upwards of 100 vendors sometimes, depending on the show. And some of them have a little bit wider aisles than others, like this one in Pheonix had pretty wide aisles. But then there's other ones that just, they're kind of cramped, especially when you get a lot of people in there.
Here we are at the 2018 IPMS Nationals in Phoenix, Arizona. And you see, for me, what it's all about are these stacks of models, just stacks and stacks of them. It's a great time. Let's see what else there is.
Nationals is also a very good opportunity to meet some of the manufacturers. And like Zuki Mora, the head guy who runs that, I got to meet him. Several of these companies have their owners or their CEOs or very high executive people in those companies at the Nationals quite often. So it gives you a good opportunity to get to know the people that you're buying these things from, and to talk with them about the upcoming kits, the quality of the kits that are currently out, just whatever questions you might. A lot of vendors do take credit cards, but keep in mind that the Wi-Fi isn't all that good in these convention centers, and quite often they have to pay high prices just to get Wi-Fi. So some of the vendors will only take cash. It's always a good idea to go with lots of cash. And if you have to hit the ATM the next day, so be it. But again, some of them will take credit cards. It definitely slows down the process, particularly when you're trying to get what you want and then move on to the next vendor before the stuff that you're thinking you might want gets sold. So keep that in mind. That's a big tip. Take lots of cash, because keep in mind, this is like the world's biggest hobby store for a year, and you'll see things there that you probably won't see at the next show. So I hope this was helpful. Have a great time if you guys are going this year, and if not, you're going in the future, have a great time then. Thanks for joining us today, folks.